first question, as always, what got you into stand-up comedy? When you were a kid, what did you want to do when you grew up?
Well, not this. And I don't mean that negatively, but like when I was...
You mean not be on Beverages with Brad in a coffee shop?
I did not aspire to be a comic since like childhood. Okay. Yeah, like honestly, if you told me 20 years ago that someday I'd be doing stand-up comedy, I would have been wondering where your straitjacket was. And I would get into situations where I would just say what was on the top of my head and people were laughing.
We all started writing things way before we got the balls to get on stage and actually give it a try. That's a very common theme, it seems like.
Well, there are exceptions, but yeah, this is one of those crafts where nobody wakes up one morning never having thought to do stand-up before and says, I want to try stand-up, I'm going on stage tonight.
Just like stumbled up on stage.
There is a lot that happens between when that first spark goes off and when you take the mic for the first time. I was 25 when I did my first open mic.
All right, so you started writing it, let's say 20, about 20.
Sure.
Got on your first open mic, 25.
But like, as soon as I set foot on stage and took the mic, it was almost like somebody hit the flush button and the nerve just kind of disappeared. At one point in my act, I actually made a woman do a spit take and spit chicken on the table.
That's a good feeling. You make people spit food out, you're on the right path. You do this thing where you basically mock crowd work that I really get a huge kick out of.
All right, how's everyone doing tonight? Awesome, let's move on.
It's like
Family Guy.
When you greet the crowd.
This reminds me of that time.
Yeah, it's basically like this. Like I'll put like a thought bubble up here.
How you doing, man? Are you married? What do you do for a living? Awesome. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, that was really funny. So is that something that you frequently do?
I've done it a few times. Like I don't make it the crux of my act.
The whole thing about people from like the time you're young being like, oh, you're so tall. Do you play basketball? As you can imagine, I've had all the same questions.
And when you're a tall teenager, what is that wonderful question everybody asks you? Do you play basketball? And always with this psychotic energy. Oh, you're so tall! Do you know you're tall? Because you are! Wow! Do you play basketball? Yes, I have to. It's in my contract. Have you seen people going up to like little people? Hey, do you work in Santa's Village?
Your best and worst memory of performing stand-up?
Like I can pick a strong moment. It's one that stands out to me. I don't know that it's my absolute best, but it was a great night. And it was located in somebody's backyard. Sign number one that it's going to be a great night. There was like Chris Brown music blasting out of the window of a nearby house. Sign number two. Empty room. Sign number three. Almost positive we're going to cancel the show. I only did like 5 minutes. People were just exploding laughing. Just probably one of the better shows I remember. Again, it was only 5 minutes. But
basically, you kind of go into this thing with the expectations so low, like, oh gosh, we're gonna have to cancel. This is a complete loss, and then boom, you just like have this amazing set. That's awesome. That's cool.
The worst is probably one of my earliest sets. I got it into my head that because my first set went really well, that whatever I wanted to do was just fine. So I was planning to do half my previous set and half my new stuff. Rookie mistake, I decided to just do the new stuff. Okay. It was a little bit too storytelly, I guess, and the laughs went from here to... When I said that's my time, somebody in the audience said, thank God, and then I left. This, by the way, was right after I got laid off from my day job and right after a death in the family.
What's your ultimate goal?
You might think this answer's lame. I honestly don't have one. What I'm looking to do here is be the best I can at this. I don't know where that's going to take me. I'm not a goal-oriented person. I figure like if there's something I want to do, I'm going to do it. I don't need to say that it has to happen within 5 years because I don't know what's going to happen in my life in 5 years. Things might change. Things might go the way I hope they do, but life's unpredictable. So I can either say this is going to happen in 5 years, then get to 5 years and be like, oh, I let myself down because I didn't do it. But I can still do it.
Yeah.
If I want to. If maybe I won't want to anymore. I'm not that great at promoting myself, honestly. The whole low-key thing.
YouTube channel, Facebook, anything like that? Anything you want to promote?
I have a Facebook page. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of see myself as like butter rum lifesavers. There's rarely an active
When you
reason.
walked in here, I was like, butter rum lifesavers.
No, I'm saying it's like, that's the kind of thing thing where there's rarely a solid reason to actively pursue looking for it, but every once in a while you come across it and you're like, oh, cool, that still exists. That's kind of what I go for.
Shoot for the stars, dude.
Pretty much. Or the lifesavers.